If you are new to the channel, I am a gatherer. When I get ready to do a project, I like to feel like I have everything that I think I may need. Probably an overabundance of what I may need, and sometimes I still run somewhere when I remember something that I can get locally. So in today's video, we are doing spooky season. At Christmas time, I had made and was inspired by others who make these little vignettes out of little old tins or boxes or ornament boxes, and I did a few for Easter, and next up is Halloween. So the hard part of Halloween is like the vintage stuff. Whoo, if you watched my latest haul video where I did not show them in the haul but behind cases, vintage Halloween can be quite pricey. It is really hard to find, and it's like, you know, the tacky, the cute, the scary, the, you know, like, yeah, I don't want to show that kind of stuff. So I'm just going to try to put it all together in little tins and little boxes, and see what I come up with to create for you all. So I panned over my supplies, what I have picked up now, y'all. Throughout the season, the whole year long, I've been looking for smalls, and it's not easy. Black bottle brush trees are not easy. Orange, you know, the dollar store does have them. And I'm finding, like, I feel like I'm early to the season, and then like I'm early, but then I'm late because then places already have a 50 to 60% off because they just want to get their Christmas stuff. They want to get through the Halloween supplies. So I am showing these videos early because that's like going into Michael's. I'm like, you're like empty. They're like, yes, we want to get our Christmas out. Okay, hallelujah. I get that. So this is one of those seasons that if you are thinking about making any of these, you need to get to the stores, because I have traveled to them all. Joann's, Michael's, Hobby Lobby, Target, Dollar Tree, Dollar General, Myers, Walmart. Am I leaving anybody out? I even went into a Halloween store in Five Below. So there's that. I don't know if I've missed anything locally that I couldn't have picked some kind of Halloween decor up for y'all. So what I'm looking for is something that looks Halloweeny, looks fallish. Of course, an old coffee can. Perfect. It's got the orange in it. I know that it has some blue, but it's all about the orange that's on it. So first off, what we need to do is we need to fill it so that our decor is just resting on the top of this. So my go-to is always the Dollar Tree floral foam. It's inexpensive, it's a great filler, and it can fit, and you can cut it down to whatever size that you need it to be. So I will tell you, I prefer to buy it like this from the Dollar Tree, but my store, the stores that I went into only had these big blocks of it. Still work. I don't find them as user-friendly. I have ordered off of Dollar Tree and just ordered a dozen, because you have to order stuff by a dozen when you order it online. So I'll probably go ahead and do that again, because it's just easier to fit stuff like this in with those little sections. So first of all, that's what we're doing. We are just cutting it down. I'm just using a metal ruler to cut it. That's as simple. Kind of messy. It wouldn't have been so messy if I would have just had like the little chunks, but and then next, to cover up the floral foam, I'm just going to try to put a thin layer of the moss that you get at Hobby Lobby. A little bit of hot glue. Just something to, it's all about filling it up so that you don't see that. And then I get glue stuck to myself. Try to make it as flat as I can while the glue is hot and warm. So making sure that I have this turned, so I'm always looking at the face. I have this that came from the Dollar Tree. I wish they were all black, but they have this natural at the bottom, that's okay. So I'm going to remove it from the base actually, which will make it go into my this a little bit better. So which, I guess it doesn't matter. There's two faces. And then I'm going to take a little bit of hot glue. And then I'm just going to go ahead and push it in. And now I have this cute little ghost that probably back in the day was battery operated, but since I'm gluing it in, I'm not going to work. I think I got them for 25 cents at a garage sale or something like that. I know some people are going to say you should have let him so you can turn him on, but then I couldn't glue him down. So there's that. Like if you're making these for your booth to resell or a craft show to resell, you want to probably try to make everything so that it does not move. Hence the glue. So I feel as if I should have some type of a backdrop, and I have this rusted tin tile that I'm just actually going to push right into that foam as a backdrop. And I know these points will be sharp, but you got to be careful. It's decor, you got to be careful. So next I have this little, probably a vintage cake top, like cupcake topper, that I'm going to put like he's holding it. Luckily it has that little, so I didn't have to glue it or anything. I think it's fine just like that. It's all about not being able to fall off. So I bought these little pumpkins from Michael's, I think. So I think what they were for were like to make a spooky haunted house. And then I have this little kitty cat. I bought a bag of kitty cats off of Amazon. Though I wish they were all like the shape and stuff that I wanted them to be, but not necessarily. So we're going to go ahead and glue the pumpkin down. And take the little kitty cat, try to glue his little legs on top of the pumpkin. Then I think I'm going to add one more of the pumpkins. They were flat pumpkins, and then there were ones that were a little bit more rounded on top. So now I have this man on the moon image, and I'm going to add behind here. It was a printable off of, I had to pay for a download from Etsy, but I felt like it was one that I would use over and over again. And so this is it printed on copier paper, and then I printed it off on cardstock. Use some double stick tape to attach it to the tile. So we still got that vintage and new and Halloween-y. Either way, it's one of a kind. And I'm going to have some of the owl showing. So I have this black stem that I got, I think it was from Joann's. I'm going to say that, yeah. And we're just going to add a little bit more whimsical in there. Just kind of take it from having just a tile setting there to try to leave some of the wire on there, because that makes it easier to poke in. Around the can, I'm just going to do a little bit of this black ribbon, just to kind of tie it all in together. So I ended up finding this in my stash, which is just a pin, and I think I like it with that much better than the paper. I think the paper just didn't print out very bright. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove it, and then I'm just going to change it out for this one. have this little one, and of course I picked it up because it had the orange on it. So I'm going to fill it up. It's like repeating process here, y'all. Okay, so now I have this pumpkin, though the shade matches. This was thrifted, but the shade of it matches. And I'm trying to decide if I need a bigger, I think I might need a bigger. Yeah, we'll go for this one. Pop it out of the base because it's just easier. Let's get it glued in. Make sure that this one's going to kind of hang off because this is a really small, it's really small. And I'm going to add the world's largest pumpkin next to a tree. And now I have some of these. Yep, just old Christmas lights. But I went into my stash. I was trying to see what I had that was similar in color. And I realized the orange, it really isn't like orange of the old vintage. It's more of a yellow orange. And then, I know, y'all aren't gonna like this, but it's just decor. So we're gonna add this big velvety spider. It's all about what fits into this when I'm looking, what all kind of goes together. Okay, though I don't have a 31, I do have a 13 of this old tag. It's beautifully aged. So we're going to do the unlucky number, or people that think it's unlucky anyway, of the number 13. It's all about having fun, y'all. I think I don't like the string on there, though. I think I'll just use the alien tape. I think works a little bit better. I have not used alien tape before. Double-sided sticky tape. I would stop throwing it on my cardboard that has dust on it. It would be better. Key is trying to get the little outer off of it. That's not always the easiest. Alien tape's supposed to stick to anything, including the fingers, while you're trying to get it onto the object. Right? Yep. And then I'm liking my black to kind of like where I don't have enough height on one side. Pull that wire down. And then it just gives another little texture element in there. And before the glue dries, just kind of play with it to where what you want it to be. And then once I added all the, I would want to call it greenery, blackery? Blackery? That doesn't sound right. I'm going to add a little bit of a ribbon just around. next I'm going to do this Mayfair tea, and you may see this in the hall or that I just picked this up at the Parma Antique Mall. Got to meet a viewer who has that entire space that I absolutely love up there at the Parma Antique Mall. Color coordinated kitchen-y littles all day long, but I needed something to match my vintage. This is hard because these go for good money, y'all. So this may not be a 99-cent auction. Anyway, but I like that, my little plastic vintage witch. I was looking for an orange that matched. This is the hardest thing. Probably the hardest thing is matching the oranges. Like your blacks, you got the glitter, you got the, black. But then the oranges are all different colors. You've got the burnt orange, you got the bright orange, you got the faded from it being old. So matching them is really hard. I guess you don't have to, but I'm a matchy-matchy type of person. So that's what we're going to do. And on this one, I'm going to stick the lid to this back in here. That way it can live on, and it's not going to be missing from each other. It's just going to be tucked in the inside. So there again, yeah. Repeat, repeat, repeat. It's just a great way to fill up these little tins. Cost efficient. If you're a reseller and you're trying to put these in your booth, or you want to sell them in your Etsy shop, you're just going to have to go on a side paper and figure out what you paid for something to what the cost of these are. I'm blessed enough to have a very supportive YouTube family that are willing to bid on these at auction on my eBay store. So that's where these will be going. I don't necessarily have to put them into my booth. Thank you all who bid and purchased my eBay auctions on my crafted items. You guys make me feel so special. And like I said, if you don't like it and it won't go in, cut it off. I'm going to get one of the glittery trees, not heavily glittered. I wish they weren't all glittered. I'm not necessarily, that's not my jam usually. It's sparkly. We're going to call it sparkly. Sometimes they pull out, sometimes you got to twist them out. It's just how they go. Okay, hold on. I got to kind of look at towards me though. Sorry, y'all. This is towards the back, but and then hot glue will come off of her. Somebody wants to separate her. Now, I have to say I was impressed that Joann's had bulbs in the colors I was looking for. There wasn't a lot left, or they don't get a lot in, or they don't have a lot out. I am not really sure. But for the backdrop for her, I'm going to go ahead and start gluing some of the bulbs onto each other. I gotta kind of stare at what I'm doing here. Try to hide as much of the glue as I can. There's that. I'm going to leave that as is because I'm afraid if I get too tall, it's going to tumble over. Because for some more height, we can still add some more of this. Actually, it might be good as is, as it is. Just have to cut it down a little bit. And then I just like to play with it. There are some wired ones in there that you can bend a little bit. Okay, now I kind of have to figure out what I'm going to do in this space. I need to fill up her little, I have these that I purchased from Hobby Lobby, and I only wanted like the black ones out of it, so you'll have that. So I'm just trying to fill that up a little bit so I don't have to use multiple ones because I only have so many things on hand. So it looks like she's carrying a little. And then I might add a spool and then add another one. Just, you know, I need something to fill this up with. And it's black and it's got, you can see a little bit of the wood on the stem. You know, it's just fun. You know, she's supposed to be casting her spells with a spool. Sure, she's sewing something. She's sewing something. Ooh, guess I need to turn that down. Then I'll go ahead and bring another white element to match the bulbs with some of the little trees that came in the pack. They're in the little tiny section at Hobby Lobby. They were Christmas. Luckily, Hobby Lobby already has their Christmas out. No, I think white. I think white will go better. I have another one of those little kitty cats. I love the little kitty cats from Amazon. They're just like a hard rubber. Glue's not permanent. I decided to add this little pumpkin that I'd gotten off of Michael's. They had little, like you could make your spooky houses. So I'm going to add that first and then add the little kitty back on. I kind of needed that third element, that triangle going on there. Because I added white to this, I'm going to go ahead and use this ribbon. I bought this ribbon, I'm pretty sure last year at Walmart. So I'm just going to guesstimate how much I need. Wrap it around. It's nice because it's got the harlequin. Is that what they call this pattern? Even though the pumpkin's got stripes on it, it's okay. Sometimes I have to lay it down. You get to see my messy work area, but that way I can see and you all can see at the same time. Got a little dab of glue to hold it in place. And another little dab of glue. And then I can cut these off. going to go ahead and put some of these old blocks that I had just recently got. And it just happened that they have the word boo, and they're all the shade of red. So first off, I'm going to go ahead and hot glue these together. So it may not be that orange shade, but Michael's had these small ombre ones. I know that Dollar Tree has them too. But that red goes with the red of the boo. So I don't think I need two. And I don't know, I'm just not the base type of person. Because it's always big and chunky, and you can take it off and you can snip that wire flat. And then you can put some hot glue on there. And then I'm going to kind of center it in between the two O's. So when I was digging in my stash of Christmas bulbs, I have this one that's kind of ombre, but the paint's kind of coming off. And then I think this one kind of coordinates. So I'm going to see if I can get these to glue on there. Gonna have to wait for one glue to dry before the next, because in one of the boxes of goodies that I picked up, they had these cute little ghosts, which of course goes with the word boo, but I wanted something to be seen behind there, which is the little bulbs. Fun making a one of a kind, you know, like even though you get inspired by others' creations, it's hard to find all those little individual pieces, you know. So then it ends up being one of a kind. I needed to bring that out a little bit so you could see it. And to top it off, just one single candy corn. I think I'm gonna put, it's not exact match, but it doesn't like affect like not being pretty or anything next to the ombre tree. So I feel like this needs some type of a backing. So I have this little plaque that I bought. So even though it's gonna cover up the pumpkin, I think it's like the right size. I just like it having that back, even though it's not it's off just a little bit. You don't really, I guess I can leave the hanging on there. So I'm going to go ahead and get that glued together. And because I'm going to go ahead and leave this little hanging system on there, I'm going to cut a piece of this cheesecloth that kind of matches there. I mean, it's not an exact match, but you got the lightness. So I think instead of using like a black piece of ribbon or orange piece of ribbon, we'll just cut a piece of this. Well, cut, rip. Which will look like a ghost. Which is probably where I had this left over from last year making ghosts. Okay, so I got that ribbon on and I just felt like, oh, it needs more. And I actually have 3 of these. How cute is that going to look? Little God wink moment. They were magnets, but I think I'm going to attach them. I just wasn't liking the ribbon as is. So just somebody's homemade magnets. So you can see, oh my gosh, that is so cute. And you know me, I'm a tweaker, so I added one more because this bulb matches a little bit of the color here, and then this bulb matches here, you know, and all the ombre with the tree, and then I'm putting stuff in some little discarded pieces of the cheesecloth to cover up the glue. My next one is going to be this ginger container, but I'm going to flip it off to the side. I'm actually going to use a bingo card, and I know that it's not going to necessarily, you know, be the same width, but we're going to go ahead and make it work. So I actually found a bingo card that has a 31 on it, so that made my heart happy. So I'm going to put some, I know this is hard. Oh, it's about crafting. To be able to stand up. I have this little guy, this little skeleton guy. See how the colors are going together. I think this was Dollar General. Like a 3-pack for $1, little plastic skeletons. We're not going to have him hang. He's just going to be sitting. He doesn't have enough booty to really be gluing him on, so I'm going to try. I'm going to try to glue his booty on here. He's got a bony booty. So to cover up the glue, he's going to be holding this pumpkin. I bought a bag of pumpkins at an antique store that were this shape. I think it was $5, and there was a whole bunch of them in there. So we're going to make it look like he's holding a pumpkin. That'll help hide his glue job and help secure him on there. And then on top of that, I bought a little box of crows off of Amazon. So we're going to go ahead and glue a crow onto his lap to bring in that other element. So let's turn this around. See where we can get him to hold up here. So I was coming up with something to cover, and I have this piece that I think is going to work perfectly. I just need to cut it down to size, or make a cut on it anyway. So now I'm going to get that glued on. I would like to put another pumpkin on the top of that, but I got to whittle away some of the excess that is causing it not to be flat. Fun little scene. So I kind of want to add a tree, but I don't want to cover up the 31. So like it's just showing the 16. But luckily I haven't glued this onto the bingo card that I should just be able to pop him off. Ah, okay, I got them taken off. No, now I'm going to put I need the base on this one, so the base has to stay. I know it's taller than the bingo card, but it's the 31 I really wanted to emphasize. Little skeleton back on there. Oh, he's still, okay, so he has to go onto this side. It might have ripped off the bottom, but you won't see that because you'll be holding it. So I have this frame that could frame the 31, the skeleton, and do you think I can make it, do you think I can glue it on and it'll work? What do you think? Oh my gosh, that's too funny. Cover up some of the glue. There was this false moss that's the gray color at Michael's. So I'm going to glue it kind of around the tree so you don't see the glue. Oh, ooh, it's got a weird, like a cold, rubbery texture. I may be having a little too much fun doing this, but that is okay. It's about having fun. That's what I say. So I'll just try to get it in where I can here. So I can't have my frame looking newish with all this old stuff, so I have some of the antiquing wax. This is the soot color. So a little bit of this stuff goes a long way just to touch on to make this look a little bit older. It didn't have any glass or anything, so you know, as crafters, we don't get rid of anything. There. Just needed a little something. Heck, why have it out? I might as well just hit that plasticky skeleton just a little bit so he doesn't look so new and dirty either. So I hope that you enjoyed today's video. Yes, I am a gatherer. I'll see littles. I love littles. And I was so happy to make Halloween little vignettes, little gathering groupings together, finding cans, finding blocks, just using your imagination. There's really no wrong way of doing it. And you just keep adding or taking away or moving until you are happy. That is the fun of crafting. So as always, I'll probably have another one coming up because as you saw my table, I have a little bit of littles as I'm staring at them going, oh, I probably could create some more, but 5's enough for one video. So, and I'll save another grouping for a later date closer to Halloween. So again, thank you so much for watching today's video. And as always, give me a quick comment down below. Have I inspired you to go out hunting on the hunt for littles to decorate for Halloween? I know not everybody decorates for Halloween. Some people don't just do fall. Some people don't. They just wait till Christmas to decorate. It's all good. It's just what your vibe is, what your jam is. So again, thank you so much for watching. Give me a quick comment which of the ones I made today were your favorites. And as always, if you're part of our YouTube family, thank you so much. And if you're new and you're checking out this channel for the first time and you liked what you saw, hit that subscription button along with the notification bell so you know we uploaded a new video. And we will see you next time, guys, and you can see what we're up to. Bye.